Hello, I'm Elliot Benjamin. I'm a paediatric ENT surgeon. I want to talk to you today about a very common problem we see in our clinics, and this is of children who present to us with breathing difficulties at night. They may be mouth breathing, snoring, or even having gaps in their breathing, what we call sleep apnea. This can often cause secondary symptoms such as being very tired during the day, losing concentration, affecting their schooling as well. In adults, this can be for very many reasons, but in children, frequently it's because of large tonsils and adenoids. The tonsils sit like little golf balls at the back of the throat, and the adenoids sit right at the very back of the nose, below the uvula, the dangly thing at the back of the throat, up behind that where it joins to the nose. The combination of these three bits of tissue can block children's breathing to a certain extent. In some children, they may simply mouth breathe. Other children may snore, so where other children at the far end of the spectrum may have big gaps in the breathing, so they go and take a big breath. Many children will be somewhere in the middle, what we call sleep disordered breathing. Now, a lot of these children down the initial ends are really totally asymptomatic, and we're not too concerned about mouth breathing or snoring. However, if they're more down this end of the spectrum, this can start having secondary effects. Often we see during the sleep pattern at night, they don't get into deep sleep, what we call REM sleep. They may move around a lot at night. They may get hot and sweaty. They may wake up a lot. And in some children, especially older children, they may even still wet the bed at night. All this shows signs of not getting into deep quality sleep, and that gives them this constant daytime somnolence and the effects they may have with their concentration and schooling. The ultimate treatment for this is to remove the tonsils and adenoids. This is not something I go rushing into. Initially, I would try some conservative treatment in the form of some steroid nasal drops to try and shrink the adenoids. And then ask parents to keep a sleep diary over the next month to 2 months so we get a clear idea of the breathing pattern. Often the breathing will improve quite dramatically with the drops, but it may slowly drift back again, and depending on where it is on that spectrum will help determine whether or not we need to proceed with surgery. If we do proceed with surgery, it's a very simple day case procedure under general anaesthetic. Child comes into hospital, we remove both the tonsils and the adenoids, they go home the same day. And there's approximately a 2-week recovery with suitable painkillers. Initially, the breathing doesn't improve straight away, but by the time we see them back in clinic, approximately 6 weeks later, the breathing is dramatically better at night, almost silent. They're often sleeping through the night, and they have almost a new lease of life, almost like giving them new batteries. There are 2 main ways to remove tonsils and adenoids. There's the more traditional way of removing them completely and buzzing them with a little electrical instrument to try and stop any bleeding. Or there's another way now of doing what we call Coblation Surgery, which colloquially is called shaving the tonsils. This has the benefit of maybe speeding up recovery and causing less pain, but does have the downside of there being about a 10% regrowth rate, and therefore some children need further surgery. Both techniques have their advantages and disadvantages, and we can discuss that in the clinic. If your children or child does have this sort of problems, we'll be very happy to review their personal situation in the clinic and discuss further. If you'd like to see me, please contact me via my secretary on 07891 599 395 or via the email info@earnosethroatlondon.com, or all the details can be gained from the QR code shown.